So I couldn't wait till Sunday. Usually around the points on a weekend, on a Sunday, and that's when I would have given my thoughts on what's been going on. But this is so crazy. This is so crazy that I could not wait till Sunday. This is a live impromptu installment of Around the Point here on the YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up and share it throughout your entire social media. You guys know the drill by now, okay? Around the Point, you can listen to anywhere, right? On Apple Podcast, right? We're also on Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Anchor, Spotify. We're basically everywhere. Also, we're on okfave.com. This episode is also being brought to you by the people over at Anchor. If you are a podcaster, you want to just start your own podcast, Anchor is the way to go, okay? Here I am. It's Steve. And holy crap, has the wrestling world just lost his shit with WrestleMania. Now, we've been hearing for the last, I want to say week, that there's been talks of WrestleMania being canceled or being postponed since this whole coronavirus outbreak's been going on, COVID-19. And it's been announced this past Friday, that WWE was in a meeting in Tampa regarding them either postponing or canceling WrestleMania. And apparently it was left on Vince's, it was up to Vince's decision, right? And they're going to give them another week. And just, I guess, the whole notion of their back being against the wall. That's the vibe right now that I get. It sucks. Basically, in rough English, WrestleMania is now taking place at the Performance Center in Orlando, in Winter Park, Florida, on April 5th. That's right, April 5th, it's going to go down. WrestleMania going down from the Performance Center. Now, I can understand WWE's position right now, okay? I'm not going to hold them, if you will. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they're a dummy, this and that, what have you. Because right now, the situation sucks, okay? Whether you want to admit it or not, the situation that's going on right now sucks. In a perfect scenario, yes, WrestleMania will still be taking place in Tampa, in front of everyone, if you will. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Instead, like I said, the Performance Center. It's just hard to really think about, right? And apparently, WWE issued a statement. Because again, we've been waiting for that statement for a long time now. We've been waiting for that statement for a while, okay? And here it is. I know my background is all bright and dark and shit. It's acting like crazy. At this point, it is what it is, okay? But this is their statement, if you will, on WWE.com. And it says the following in quote, in coordination with local partners and government officials, WrestleMania and all related events in Tampa Bay will not take place. However, WrestleMania will stream live Sunday, April 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on WWE Network and be available on pay-per-view. Only essential personnel will be on closed set at WWE training facility in Orlando, Florida to produce WrestleMania. And again, I'm not angry at WWE. Because let's face it, their back was against the wall. Right? For the first time, and I guarantee you a long time, for Vince McMahon, his back was against the wall. Vince McMahon was not going to cancel WrestleMania. Let's keep that clear. If it was up to Vince, WrestleMania would still be taking place in Tampa. Right? In that stadium. Again, whose name is above my head right now. But it's not happening. And again, I can understand the situation. Okay? It's do that or not have WrestleMania at all. Can you imagine what would have happened, right, if WrestleMania this year didn't take place? Because of the coronavirus? Can you imagine, right, if for some odd reason they decide, you know what, we're not going to do WrestleMania. This, I guess, is an alternative. To be honest with you, it's just a shitty alternative right now. It really, really is. You think about this, right? Back in 2007, they made the plan going forward WrestleMania to be in stadiums, right? And now they're going to the Performance Center with no audience whatsoever. I'm just disappointed, to be honest. There could have been an alternative, honestly. I'm not saying cancel the show, because no, you really can't do that. Postpone the show to a future date. And I'll get into that because there's been rumors going on before I even started going live and recording and all that stuff. Postpone the show to a later date. Let this whole coronavirus issue, again, settle down. I'm pretty sure in a month or two from now, there'll be something for a cure or something. Put it this way. My father, my dad, was supposed to leave the country today. He was supposed to travel to Peru today. That's not even happening. The Peruvian government has declared a 15-day travel ban in Peru. So my dad can't even leave the country right now to go to Peru and enjoy his retirement like he does every single year for 6 months. I was supposed to take him today to the airport, but that's not even happening. Here I am. That's how serious this shit is right now. This is not no fun and games. This is not no fucking, coronavirus challenge that I saw on social media where people are licking the toilets and shit. No. This is literally the real coronavirus challenge right now. Surviving right now, motherfuckers. That is the real coronavirus challenge right now. Surviving. Trying to survive this shit. But again, I'm not angry. I'm not mad at WWE. They had to do what they felt they needed to do. At the same time, let's be real about it. Some of these matches are going to look so hokey at the Performance Center. Some of these matches need a crowd. They need an audience. And to my understanding from what I've read as well, there's plans to let some of the legends be in attendance, family members of the wrestlers that are wrestling on the show, and again, personnel and shit. At least 100 to 200 people. I'm pretty sure Dave Meltzer I'm pretty sure they'll hype up the number. Oh, it's 500 people, but no, it was not. But this sucks. I hate being repetitive with this shit, but it does. And I watched parts of Raw yesterday, right? I was at work. I came home around 9:30ish or so, and I watched parts of Raw. I watched part of SmackDown this past Friday. Raw and SmackDown were depressing as shit to sit through. And for all the people that say, oh, but Steve, you gotta find some positive in the whole thing. There was some good wrestling. That's fine and dandy, but still it does not change the fact that the shows were depressing to sit through. It's so fucking depressing. And you expect me and everyone else to be accustomed to watching, God knows, and I pray to God that WrestleMania is not a 7-hour show. You better pray to the wrestling gods it's not a 7-hour show. Can you imagine WrestleMania this year at the Performance Center, a 7-hour show? Holy crap. And yes, apparently there'll be no people there from what I've heard as well, but at the same time, there are talks of having family members and personnel and shit like that. I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns and Goldberg won't get booed when Roman wins. They've talked about that being the main event. Yes, I feel bad for someone like Drew McIntyre, who waited all this time, all these years of putting honing his craft, right? To finally get his moment to face Brock at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, to be now called the Chosen One, because technically he is, right? To have his moment inside that stadium, right, in Tampa, right? The moment he beats Brock, right? The pyro, Michael Cole or Jerry Lawler on commentary or whoever the fuck it may be, putting over Drew McIntyre as the era of McIntyre is now. And the whole crowd is losing their shit. And again, besides that, I guarantee you also the city of Tampa did not want to lose WrestleMania. Do you have any idea just the shitload of money that was put, or I guess invested, or was going to be invested into the city of Tampa for WrestleMania? You do realize I hope y'all realize people fight in advance. Cities bid years in advance to have a WrestleMania in their town. WrestleMania, again, is not just some wrestling show. It's a spectacle. It's like the World Series, the NBA Final, the World Cup. Can you imagine? Listen, all these stuffs are canceling right now, right? Soccer, the MLB, the NBA. Can you imagine? Right? If people even say, oh, how come they don't build a special basketball court for the NBA to play in empty arenas? No, you need a crowd. I'm sorry. For some of these shows, for some of these games, for some of these sporting events, you need a crowd for a reaction, for moments. Can you imagine? Right? Again, I'm not really big into basketball, right? I'm going to just go off last year's, I guess, NBA Finals, right? Can you imagine if Golden State and the Raptors last year would have played in an empty arena, all those games in the NBA Finals? Can you imagine this year in the Super Bowl, right, that just passed, right? Who was it? Fucking the 49ers and the Chiefs? I could be wrong on that one. My bad. Or who won the Super Bowl this year? The Chiefs, right? I hope I'm right on that one. I hope I'm fucking right on that one. Let me see here. Again, me in sports right now, I don't really, all the sport teams and shit like that. I'm more of a soccer guy, but you kind of get the idea, okay? Just bear with me here, okay? Let's see here real quick. Let's see. Load up, you fucking piece of shit computer right now. Yeah. Keep again, though, just to think about that, though, right now, right? The idea, here we go. God damn it. Here we go. Yeah, it was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Niners. Can you imagine if they played in an empty venue? How crazy that would have been? If they would have played in an empty-ass stadium. Mania should be postponed for the summer, or at least till COVID-19 slows down. I agree. I totally agree. But at the same time, if you're WWE, again, they got all these plans. They got all these things going on. So I can understand they may want to go on with the show. The show must go on, right? That's the term of WWE. The show goes on regardless. So at the end of the day, it's terrible right now. At the same time, though, if you're going to ask me, who else do I feel bad for? Besides, again, the people that, more importantly, the people I feel bad for the most, the people that bought tickets. The people that spent money on a travel package, the people that spent money on a ticket, whether it's to WrestleMania, whether it's to SmackDown, whether it's to Raw, whether it's to NXT TakeOver Tampa, the Hall of Fame ceremony. Hell, there's even talk of the Hall of Fame ceremony and TakeOver being canceled completely. The British Bowler just got in the Hall of Fame, got announced this past week. Hell, literally yesterday, Jushin Thunder Liger was announced for the WWE Hall of Fame. And that's why people say, oh, how can that be when Liger just had one match in WWE against fucking Tyler Breeze to take over Brooklyn? Are you fuckers out of your mind? Liger's a fucking legend. A fucking legend. How dare you fuckers say, oh, why is he in the Hall of Fame? Hell, I'll even go for, there's people, Liger deserves more of a Hall of Fame spot than current people that are currently in the WWE Hall of Fame. But that's no here or there. Hell, that might not even happen now. It's crazy. It's insane right now. But again, I feel bad for the people that bought tickets to all these shows. I'm pretty sure some of them will get refunds. Hell, some of them come from different parts of the world, not just America. That's the beauty of WrestleMania. You have fans from all over the world. I'm talking not just America, we're talking Canada, we're talking Latin America, Europe, the UK. Those soccer chants that you hear every single WrestleMania. That's in person. It's amazing to hear. Amazing to hear. Granted, I know there's some people that are not fans of the soccer chants. It's stupid. It's hokey. It's corny. I love them. I love those chants. Again, I'm a soccer fan or a football fan for all my European listeners out there. That's gone now. That's gone. It's not happening. Not just those, but you know who I also feel bad for? All these other shows that are happening during WrestleMania weekend that had to postpone. Hell, GCW Collective just announced on Twitter that they had to postpone. And they're doing these shitloads of shows for WrestleMania weekend. People, again, who bought tickets in advance and all this stuff, ready to go to Tampa. That's not even happening now. Hell, just recently right now, WrestleCon had to cancel. Had to fucking cancel. And it's sad because guess what? They canceled because, again, of what's been going on. And to put more salt to the wound, the Marriott Hotel is under fire for suggesting that WrestleCon should still happen during the coronavirus outbreak. That's right. WrestleCon still feels that, hey, it should still happen. But more importantly, right, the crazy part about this, right, the cancellation of traditional WrestleMania in Tampa, Florida, led to the cancellation of WrestleCon convention. Now, again, for those of you who have never been to a WrestleCon, let me just say this right now. WrestleCon is this giant wrestling convention, right, where you meet these legends. Not just WWE Hall of Famers, wrestling legends from yesteryear that are not even in the Hall of Fame, current independent wrestlers. And again, they have their merchandise, and you get a photo with them, you get a picture, autograph, what have you. Yeah, they charge you money, what have you, but it's worth it because you know what? Unlike Access, when you go to Access, which by the way, that was canceled as well, I'm assuming, right? Duh, of course it is. But when you go to WrestleCon, they take their time with you. They don't bum rush you like Access, where you go, take a photo, and then you got to leave. No. With WrestleCon, they build conversations with you. I'll get into a story in just a little bit, right? And to me, it's always the highlight of WrestleMania weekend. For whatever reason, I always find it to be the highlight. And this year, now that it's canceled, the Marriott Hotel is still trying to collect money. Yeah. Apparently now, again, now that it's being canceled, wrestlers are coming to the aid of those behind the convention, as the Marriott Hotel, the chain, right, the chain Marriott Hotel, the hotels, if you will, right, is asking for over $114,000 in liquidated damages fee, in spite of the fact that a global pandemic is in the driving force for cancellation. And this is crazy, bro. They're still, right? They're still trying to get money off WrestleCon, which is sad, which is so sad right now, which is so fucking disappointing. Where are my notes here? Here they are. And again, people always ask me, you know, hey, again, because I've been to three WrestleManias, and luckily for me, every single year that I've gone, it's been my 1 week vacation from work, right? So that's why I take my vacation and shit. People have asked, hey, who have gone for the first time and stuff like that, hey, what are the things that I should do for WrestleMania weekend? And I always tell them WrestleCon. It's a blast. I remember the first WrestleCon that I went to. The first WrestleCon. It was WrestleCon 2016 in Dallas, Texas. It was myself, Connor, you all may know him as OK Fabe, and Matt from In the Rope Show. Our first Mania together as a trio, my second Mania at the time, and it was also Matt's second Mania at the time, and Connor's first Mania, right? We go to WrestleCon. It was my idea too, because they were really iffy on it, but I persuaded them to go to WrestleCon. I've seen people who have gone to Mania and they've done WrestleCon, and they told me how amazing it is. So I wanted to, again, make the opportunity of it. Hey, since we're down there in Dallas, let's go to WrestleCon to kill time before the Hall of Fame ceremony. right? So we go to WrestleCon. We hand our tickets, whatever. We get in there. They give us our wristbands, and we see all these legends, all these wrestlers, just a shitload of people. We caught up with Bill Apter, who I think is the Wolfgang Puck of wrestling journalism. Okay. We caught up with Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret, the whole What Culture crew at the time, right? The whole What Culture crew at that time with Adam and stuff like that, right? And so on and so forth. Vince Russo was there too. Connor got an autograph and spoke with Vince Russo. He spoke to Bill Apter. I think I do have, I still have the book here. It's signed by Bill Apter, by the way. Is Wrestling Fixed? I never knew it was broken. But one of the highlights of being at WrestleCon, man, I'm prolonging this shit. And again, it's a podcast. I'm supposed to make this shit long. So Connor goes to meet Lanny Poffo, the brother of the Macho Man Randy Savage, the genius, if you will, right? Leaping Lanny Poffo, yeah. And mind you, he goes to get a picture with him, all right, an autograph. And again, like I try to tell you guys, WrestleCon, the wrestlers, the legends, they take their time with you. They do. So me and Matt, we're walking around as Connor still, again, is talking to Lanny Poffo. We go back to Connor, and he's still talking to Lanny Poffo. And it looked like probably a 30 to 45-minute conversation. And Lanny Poffo talking about the Macho Man and the Hall of Fame, how Macho Man should have been there, how it would have meant the world for Randy Savage to have himself, his father, and even Lanny Poffo there at the ceremony. It got to a point where Lanny Poffo started crying. In front of us, in front of myself, Connor, and Matt. That just had us shook. That had me shook. I can't speak for Connor or Matt, but that had me shook, if you will. And the coolest thing of them all, the highlight, if you ask Fabe, Connor that is, right? Lanny Poffo took Randy Savage's Hall of Fame ring and put it on Connor. And he took a photo with it. I really hope Connor can bust out that photo and put it on Twitter to show people just some of the highlights and stuff like that. But the point of the matter is, that was that. Hell, we even took a photo. It was myself, Connor, Matt. We met up with Gemini, Stevie Breach, freaking Yeah, RKO the Infamous. Just a who's who at the time of the IWC, YWC. So it's a group photo and shit. A group photo. But again, just to show you guys the highlights of WrestleCon and the cool things about WrestleMania weekend and stuff like that. And now that's not even going to happen. It's done. It's down the toilet now. But again, it goes back to what I'm saying. Like, yo, these shows need an audience. It needs a crowd. I'm reading the chat here as well. Big Mike writes here. In 2016, Baltimore and Chicago played in an empty stadium due to the shootings, and the next after it happened. They just canceled the public buses from running today. I'm pretty sure they are, dude. Listen, this whole coronavirus situation is so fucking intense right now. It's so crazy. Everyone's canceling stuff. Hell, I was supposed to go to WrestlePro, an indie show, on the 27th. The show called Whatever, hosted by Orange Cassidy. That's not happening because Orange Cassidy, I guess he couldn't make it. So they replaced Orange Cassidy with Joey Janela. And that's cool. Hey, a Jersey guy, I'm all for it. Awesome. I was going to go. I bought my ticket, everything ready to go. And now, yesterday, they announced, because again, this whole situation with the governors of New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut announcing that there's a curfew, right, from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. No, all restaurants, all nightclubs, all theaters, all bars have to close. And they can't be more than 50 people or something like that. And as I'm hearing all this shit, I'm waiting for them to just say supermarkets, because I work at a supermarket as one of my two jobs. And they didn't even say that. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. You motherfuckers. But still, it is what it is. Okay? It's out of their hand. It's not their fault, but that's fine. And hell, I know a lot of people at the same time, especially the AEW fans, like, ha ha, this and that. No, because guess what? They're not immune to this shit either. AEW is about to do shows as well in empty venues. So everyone right now is just getting fucked. Fucked in the ass. And it sucks right now. It fucking sucks. Can you imagine again AJ Styles and The Undertaker in an empty room? Like, again, I saw on Monday, look, literally yesterday, right? The contract signing, right? Taker just walks down the ring with his ponytail braided. He's wearing a Scully, no T-shirt, walking like he doesn't give a fuck. Like, bro. And now, again, something needs to be done about this. Again, honestly, I am in the majority that feel that WrestleMania should have been postponed to a future date. Now, there's a rumor that came out. I'm going to read it right now. Per pwmania.com, okay? This is what the article basically says in quote. If I can bust it out right here, if you will. This is the article, so you guys can read along with me if you will. WWE announced on Monday that WrestleMania 36 will air on April 5th from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando with no crowd. The show was pulled from Raymond James Stadium, it's a stadium in Tampa, due to the coronavirus pandemic. All related WrestleMania 36 weekend events were also canceled. Week events, if you will, because again, it's WrestleMania week, they make a big deal out of it, right? While there may have been a few options on the table in regarding WrestleMania 36, it came down to the final call made by WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. It was reported on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Vince rushed the WrestleMania change of announcing it for the Performance Center because he just wanted to get everything out of the way because it's uncertain when things will really get better. No one knows when things will be back to normal, and it's possible that they aren't running shows for several months. It was also speculated on the Wrestling Observer Radio that WrestleMania may be nicked from the April 5th date altogether. If anyone on the WWE roster were to be diagnosed with the coronavirus, or if the outbreak in Florida were to get worse, then it's possible that WrestleMania is pulled and reorganized for a later date. Now, there's another rumor from a Twitter source at Fight Oracle, I believe that's Front Row Brian, in case you guys don't know, who has broken several scoops over the past year or the past couple of years on WrestleMania possibly being pulled from the WWE Performance Center as well. The rumor is that WWE's insurance policies. The rumor notes that WWE's insurance policy says that they have a duty to mitigate damages, which in this case would be finding a new venue for the big event. While WWE announced that the Performance Center as the new venue with the intent to satisfy that requirement, there's a feeling that the city of Orlando may shut down the WrestleMania Performance Center event. WWE would likely get paid by their insurer at that point, as they will have shown that they tried their best to move the event. The new report from Fight Oracle also notes that WWE will actually look to hold WrestleMania 36 on Sunday, June 7th, possibly from Madison Square Garden in New York City. Everything is still fluid at this point, and a summer date for WrestleMania would depend on how the COVID-19 outbreak is continued and how local restrictions improve, among other factors. The report went on to say that it doesn't make sense on the run. It doesn't make sense to run WrestleMania from the Performance Center, and that the PC announcement could just be part of the insurance claim process, which is crazy. Again, honestly, if I'm them, the idea of them moving it to another place, that's fine. New York is not a bad option. Granted, this would be 2 years in a row that they will be in New York. 2 years in a row. that they will be in New York City, right? Think about this, right? Was it last year? They were obviously MetLife Stadium. I was there at MetLife. Fucking, it rained. I remember at the end of the show, it rained. I feel like we were there forever, right? Me and Walter. It was just insane. The fact that they might be going back to New York, it's fine. At the Garden, fine. I'll take that, honestly. I would take that over them wanting to go to the Performance Center. Because again, like I said earlier, and I hate being repetitive with this shit, I know a lot of you probably get pissed off when podcasts repeat themselves, but I'll repeat myself in this situation. There needs to be an audience in the crowd. There needs to be an audience in that crowd for people to be invested in these matches. You could, you know what? I know Salamonster said this on his show, on the Sound Off. Take some of these mid-card matches and push them on television. Push them on TV. But your key matches, you save for WrestleMania. In a perfect world, you do it in June. The matches you keep for WrestleMania, obviously, are Brock versus Drew, Roman and Goldberg, Rhea and Charlotte, Shayna versus Becky, Edge versus Orton, which is now going to be a last man standing match. And I get that too. Hey, if Mania is still at the Performance Center, they can work their way around the empty venue. Fine. I guess. And of course, if I'm missing one, I know I'm missing one. God damn it. I guess that'll be it, right? I did mention all of them. Again, Brock and Drew. Styles and Undertaker. Styles and Undertaker, again, also he needs to be in a stadium or an arena or something for WrestleMania. It can't be at the PC. The idea of, hell, even Brock wrestling at the PC is hilarious. Also, speaking of cancellation, because again, everyone's canceling all over the place, it was announced yesterday, per the NWA, that the Crockett Cup and the tapings coming up will also be postponed. This is a quote, if you will, from the NWA. And quote, the National Wrestling Alliance, given the uncertain course of this world health crisis, is suspending normal operations until June as far as any live performances. This includes the upcoming Atlanta GA event, the Crockett Cup, on pay-per-view on April 19th at the Gateway Center, and NWA Power tapings at GPB Studios on April 20th, 420, and April 21st. At this time, the Super Power episode scheduled to air on Tuesday, March 17th, which promoted these events, will not air in its current form in order to not create confusion into the marketplace. However, we'll continue to produce content in the interim and thank fans in advance for their continued support. I feel bad for the NWA too. I feel bad for Nick Aldis and Marty Scurll. Like, they're gonna wrestle in that that arena in Atlanta, sold out. Apparently, they sold a shitload of tickets on opening day of the sale, and that ain't even happening now. And I was looking forward to that match. The idea of Marty and Nick Aldis going at it, if Marty were to lose, he had to pay $500,000. I was cheering for Nick Aldis to win. I get my money back and shit. But again, in all seriousness, all this right now sucks. This is just insane. And again, I would have waited till Sunday. To do this. But again, this is so crazy right now. This couldn't wait. This could not wait till Sunday. I had to do it now. So guys, give me your thoughts in the comment threads below. Your thoughts on all this is that's going on. This crazy situation that we're in right now with the coronavirus. And your thoughts on WrestleMania going to the Performance Center as we speak. Again, hopefully it does change. Hopefully they do consider moving it to a future date. Like it says in that article, in June, maybe at the Garden. I might go to that one. But regardless, you know what? If WrestleMania were to go through still at the Performance Center, will I watch? Yes, I will still watch. Because again, I'm a wrestling fan. All right, I'm a wrestling fan. It's a tradition for any wrestling fan. I don't give a fuck who you are. I've seen fans say, I stopped giving a fuck about WWE. I stopped watching their shit. It's garbage. But fuck you, you're going to watch WrestleMania. Because it's a habit. You can't help yourself. It's tradition. Just like any football fan. Hey, their team don't make the playoffs. They don't make the Super Bowl. But you're going to still watch the Super Bowl, are you? Just like any basketball fan out there. Hey, their team don't make the NBA Finals. They don't make the playoffs. But they watch the playoffs. They watch the NBA Finals for the drama and everything that's going on. Hey, I'm a Knicks fan. And we have not made the NBA Finals in 1999 or 2000. Just saying. Okay? Or any soccer fan out there. Hey, their team don't make the World Cup. Can you imagine if the World Cup would have been in an empty stadium? Right? Just saying. But the point is, though, I'm going to watch regardless because I'm a wrestling fan and all that stuff. It's tradition. And I'll still do a review. I'll give my thoughts and all that stuff. So, yeah. Guys, chime in your thoughts in the comment threads below. Matt County's on lockdown. Steven Scott. Damn, that sucks, bro. Hopefully things get better for you. And everyone out there, again, just wash your hands. Stay safe. Stay inside. Don't go out there. If you have to go outside, go outside. But, again, just be safe. Enjoy yourselves at the end of the day and all that stuff, all right? You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Again, Around the Point is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Anchor. We're also available over at okfabe.com. And I have a Facebook page down, linked in the description box of the YouTube video. HeelSteven, just type it in, you'll see me there, all right? And that's all I gotta say. Again, this podcast is being brought to you by and sponsored by Anchor.fm. If you are a podcaster and you want to start your own podcast, Anchor.fm is the way to go. They also have a mobile app for Android users and iPhone users, so it's easy to work with if you're on a computer or a mobile device. And it's free. Who doesn't love free? And Anchor will help you have your podcast be distributed to platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, just to name a few. So again, if you are a podcaster and you want to start your own podcast, head over to Anchor.fm. And I tell you guys what, I will be back this weekend for another edition of Around the Point. I'm pretty sure there'll be more stuff to get into and stuff like that. But again, guys, stay safe, love each other, wash your hands, and all that stuff, all right? And until then, this has been Around the Point.